G'day folks, my name is Sean and this is Air Photography. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. Now some of you may recall I did an unboxing of this drone about a week ago, and in that video I stated the very next day I was going to be doing my first maiden flight and I was going to be uploading a first impression style video. And many of you noticed, because I've gotten quite a few comments, that I never did upload that video. And the reason being is that on my first flight I did experience quite a few problems. Now when it comes to this drone, I want to be very thorough with it because I think this is a very important drone release. This is the first sub 250 gram drone that comes with obstacle avoidance, so a lot of people were really highly anticipating this drone, including myself. So I wanted to be really thorough before I made any kind of opinion on it. The problems that I did experience on that first flight I thought maybe perhaps had to do with calibrations. Even though I did all the calibrations before that first flight, I thought perhaps one of them didn't take properly, so I scrapped the idea of doing a first impressions video and just do my normal review. I've flown it quite a bit and I feel like I'm ready to form some sort of opinion on it. The other reason I wanted to wait for some firmware updates, which did eventually come. So in this video we're going to talk about some of the problems I experienced, some of the good things about this drone, and some of the bad things. Now as I mentioned, this is a very important drone just due to some of the features. The feature set on this is closer to a Mavic Air 2, of course with the obstacle avoidance, but it has a lot of intelligent flight modes, including tracking and waypoint missions. Now a lot of the intelligent flight modes still are not available, so that is kind of a downfall and that is a little bit disappointing. Hopefully Hubsan will have all those updates available in the very near future. Now a couple of problems that I did have on my very first flight. The first being I had a really hard time calibrating the compass. When I first powered on the drone, it comes up right away to calibrate the compass, but it wouldn't finish calibrating properly. Now after about what seemed to be about 5 minutes, the calibration finally worked and I was able to get ready to take off. But I just want to mention here too, every time I land, I have to recalibrate it. I've probably done about 20 flights with it maybe, and every time I land the drone, put a new battery in, I have to recalibrate the compass, which does get a little bit annoying. Now once I was up in the air, I noticed another problem right away, and that was it was crab walking. And that's what I thought, well maybe the IMU hasn't been calibrated properly. Even though I did calibrate it before I flew, it still had a bit of a crab walk going off to the left-hand side. Now the crab walking was actually pretty severe on that first flight, so I just ended up bringing the drone back and landing it. And that's when I made the decision, well maybe it's not calibrated properly. I'm going to wait for some firmware updates, recalibrate everything, and then see how it flies after that. So I went home and I thought, okay, well I'm going to check out the video. And I must say I was quite disappointed with the video quality. One of the features of this drone is that it offers a video bitrate of 200. So that should produce some really nice high quality video with a lot of detail. But upon playback of the video I captured, I found it did have a little bit of noise in it, a little bit more than what I'm normally used to. But worst of all is that the video was jittering quite a bit. There was a little bit of jello, but you could see that the gimbal was vibrating quite a bit. Now before I went on my second, third, and so on flights, I did recalibrate everything, and I updated the firmware. I believe there was 2 firmware updates for it. And I noticed right away that it wasn't crab walking near as bad. It was still deviating off a little bit to the side. Not nearly as bad, and something that I could easily tolerate. But there's been no changes in the video quality. There's still a lot of micro jitters. So I'm hoping that's something they can really fix with firmware update, because again, like I mentioned, this drone I think is very important, and it could be a viable competing drone for something like the DJI Mini. Now I don't want this video to sound too negative, because this drone actually does have a few good qualities. This is the first Hubsan drone I've ever flown, and I was actually quite impressed with the remote when I got it. It doesn't feel like a toy controller like some other controllers I have used. The sticks feel really good, and the drone actually flies very well, with exception to that little bit of crab walking. I found it very easy to control and get precise movements, even when you're trying to do a manual rotation. This little clip here, that was from my second flight, the first time I rotated with this drone or tried a rotation, and it was pretty smooth. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way the drone flies, minus that crab walking again. But, generally it flew very well and I'm very pleased. On top of that, the drone actually hovers quite well. I have no complaints there. It held its position really well while hovering. Even when it was a little bit breezy, it pretty well stuck to where I took off from. So they've done a good job with the way it hovers. Now, my experience with the obstacle avoidance on this drone has been very positive. I have not yet calibrated the vision sensors on this drone, but all the testing I did flying full speed into a tree. Not once was I nervous that it was going to hit it. It stopped every time with plenty of space. So in my opinion, on my drone anyways, the obstacle avoidance works quite well, and I'm very pleased with it. I would have to say it worked just as well as any obstacle avoidance drone that I've used in the past. Another kind of negative of this drone is it does have 6x zoom. However, when you're zooming in, when you're looking at the FPV feed, everything looks good. It zooms in and it zooms out and everything looks as it should. However, when you watch the recorded video of your zoom, it kind of goes off to the side for some reason. So that's a pretty big problem, because if you're zooming in on something because you want to focus on something, chances are you're going to miss what you're trying to record. I'm pretty sure that is a software glitch, and I'm pretty sure Hubsan can get that figured out with a firmware update. Now, range on this drone is pretty incredible. I actually did a range test on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to release that video or not, but I'll show you a quick clip here from it. You can see here at this point I'm out 7 kilometers, and the FPV feed stayed pretty solid. Now, I didn't want to push my luck too much, so I turned around at 7 kilometers and did a return to home. It came home with no issues at all. But yeah, 7 kilometers out with this little guy, plenty of battery power, and like I said, the video feed stayed pretty solid. Now, since we're talking about FPV feed, that's one thing I think does need a little bit of work. For some reason on mine it gets a little, it kind of hesitates a little bit, even when I'm 10 feet in front of me. You can see there in these clips it kind of like stutters a bit. It's not really a big deal and doesn't really affect your enjoyment of the flight. But again, I think that is something they can fine tune with a firmware update. I haven't done too much flight time testing with this. I do plan on doing that this week. I want to do some hover tests. But on average, when I was out flying, I would land at 30% battery power, and my flights were anywhere from 20 to 21 minutes. So I think that's about average. If I had pushed it right down to 0, we probably would have hit 26, 27, maybe a little bit more depending on how aggressive I was flying. Even though Hubsan does rate it to be a 40-minute battery, you'll never achieve that in real-world conditions. Now, I did have some tilted horizon issues. It's kind of a weird thing. Sometimes it's crooked, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you'll be flying and it's crooked and then it'll just go straight. So the big question is, do I recommend purchasing this drone? And I would love to say yes, this is a great drone for the price, but unfortunately, the way it sits right now, I still would say the DJI Mini 2 is a better option. Even though it doesn't have all the features that this drone comes with, it doesn't have the obstacle avoidance. The bottom line is the video quality on this drone is very poor. So if that's important to you and you want to capture nice video, this definitely, the way it sits right now, is not the drone for you. The DJI Mini 2 is a 4K drone as well, and the content it can capture is far superior. The other thing to consider, half the features that is going to make this drone impressive just aren't available yet, and there's not any guarantee when they will be available. They may pop up next week, but you know, it could be months down the road. Price of this drone with 1 battery and 64 gigabytes of storage is $499. You can pick up the DJI Mini 2 with 1 battery for $449. So the Mini 2 is a little bit cheaper, but it's just all around a good quality drone. You don't have to worry about weird flight experiences, jello in the video, or any of that. In my opinion, you would just get a much better experience with the Mini 2. Now, that doesn't mean this drone isn't going to be incredible down the road with a few firmware updates. Who knows? And I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to keep testing it out. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned, this is a very important release because a drone like this is really going to push DJI to innovate. We're just on the cusp of probably having a Mini 3 released, and it's almost guaranteed that the Mini 3 will have obstacle avoidance, just so it can compete with drones like this. There's no way a company like DJI would be content with other drones that are spec-wise far superior. Now, if you're a Hubsan fan, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing my experience with this drone. I am not a DJI fanboy by any stretch of the imagination. I like all drones. I love Autel. I own an Evo 2. I love my Skydio drone. I enjoy Parrot drones. I own drones right across the board from many different manufacturers. So I wouldn't say I am a DJI fanboy. I just like drones that fly well and work well. And as mentioned, I think this drone still has potential, so I'll check back as new firmware comes out, and we'll see if they can correct some of the issues. Well folks, that's basically my review of the Zino Mini Pro. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.